Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Zelensky really believes that he is the center of the universe, but it is hard not to believe that you are the center of the universe when you are invited everywhere. The red carpet is rolled for you. Everybody says, hey, he's a great guy. He's the second Napoleon. He's the defender of Europe. So it's really, really hard. Now, Zelensky thinks that Ukraine will trigger or could be the origin of the second coming of Jesus Christ or something. And he makes some claims. Let's see what kind of claims he makes. His claim is that if China allies itself with Russia, there will be World War III. This is reported by the Jerusalem Post, and it's from February 20th, 2023. Now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukrainian President, warns that should China aid Russia in its war effort against Ukraine, there will be another world war. No, there will not be another war. Maybe you want it because you already said that the West should preemptively use nuclear weapons on Russia. So you have that mentality, you already know that. You already asked for cluster munition and for white phosphorus bombs. You have that mentality. You banned political parties in your country, right? You banned a certain kind of media outlets in your country. You banned religious denominations in your country. You arrest people for being collaborators with the Russians. So you also infringe the rights of minorities in your country. All these things that the West fights against, you did it. And the West did not do shit about it. And by the way, you have a martial law since last year on February 24th. And the West is okay with that. Now, moreover, they give you billions of dollars. So you must be great. Now, I don't think that the West will fight in a world war with anybody. And I'm going to tell you why. You like it or not, I think the West is too comfortable and too pussified. That's the word, too pussified. It doesn't mean that there's no man still in the West. They are, but they are toxic because they have masculinity, you know? So when you're going to need them, I don't think they're going to say, yes, I'm coming. Say, you know what? Solve your own problems now and get all those to save you, if you know what I mean. So if you look at the West avoids fighting one-on-one. And look at its last 30 years. I'm not going back to when man was still man, you know, Second World War, Korean War, even Vietnam War, right? Look what happened. Since then, the United States of America fought always with a group of people. So they fought in pack. So remember, you are a strong guy, or not even strong, because they didn't even pick strong countries to fight. And let's say you walk down the street and you see 5 people, or not 5, actually 10 and more, 10 and up, jump you. Do you think those guys are afraid of you since they attacked you in pack, in a group? You bet. And remember, United States is not afraid of anyone. And the United States has the capability, military, economic capability to everybody up. There's no doubt about it. The problem is it doesn't have the, how should I put it, the desire for pain. Tries to avoid pain as much as possible. Who doesn't? I don't blame it for that. I'm just analyzing that if China allies itself with Russia, these guys will not move a finger. It's not going to be a world war. I'm saying direct war between the pack of wolves, the good countries, the good people, and the bad people, the bad countries. You know, that's not going to happen. It's going to maybe happen through a proxy, you know, like Ukraine, you know, use a nation, decimate a nation, and then after that's done, move on to the next one. That's what's going to happen. So watch out, South Korea. You might be Ukraine next, if you know what I mean. Or who knows, maybe Japan. You're good to go. And could be in the Balkans as well, but we don't have China there. The problem is China is already in an alliance, more than an alliance with Russia. And if they want, as China said, when did they say? Yesterday, they said do not tell us what to do. Told the United States of America, the foreign minister. You're not in a position to tell us what to do. We do whatever we want. When Blinken said that, I told them that's a red line if they would supply Russia with little weapons and all that. Not weapons, he said little aid, that means weapons. And China said, back off. Look what you're doing in Europe, and then you open the mouth, So if China, and will do that, if Russia needs it and China will supply them, these guys will not gonna go into a world war with these guys. We'll probably create a little problem over there, so you start a little thing, so you suck China in, and you go the same weasel way. Stay from far away. Why? Look at the club, the good countries, which is NATO and the European Union. These are the good countries. Plus 3, 4, 5 weasels from East Asia, including Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and South Korea, and that's it. These countries fought, and Canada, I'm putting Canada over there too. They fought against small, weak countries, and they still needed to attack them as a group. Remember Iraq, 20 million people with a rusty army. I mean, that was, and they did the coalition of the fantastic. That was embarrassing. You like Mike Tyson, former heavyweight boxer, is going to fight with a toddler, and then good job, Mike. That's how embarrassing those generals came, Schwarzkopf and all that. Yes, man, yeah. No, I'm sorry, I don't want to insult people who served, but just look at the perspective. This coalition of how many countries fought a toddler? And they never fought a coalition. That's the problem. They never fought a coalition. They picked on one, attacked it like vultures, because they're the good countries and they're strong, and after that they ruined that society and they moved on. Afghanistan, alone, a country from what? From the Middle Ages? And now, where are they now? Back in business. They brought democracy and freedom to another country. Our way of life, the best one. Which it is, but it seems like there's some traditions, there's some cultures that, you can't really change overnight. Maybe you shouldn't. And then what's next? Was Libya? Another 4 million people, Libya. Great, man, great partner. Again, NATO did this and NATO did that. And then what? Syria? Ooh, there's some backward ISIS, really? And who was financing those, by the way? Where did those guys get weapons? You tell me. Because they had weapons. Did they have the weapons from Russia? No. Did they have it from Germany? I don't think so. Great Britain? I don't think so. United States? I don't think so. So where the fuck they got the weapons from? From China? From the moon? Someone gave them the weapons. They fought against these guys with something. Who armed them? So, again, and fought again, one country at a time as a pack. As a pack. That's why these guys are not going to take on China and Russia together, because there's no pattern on that. And besides, they want to avoid pain. See how they fight in Ukraine? They're not hurt. Like United States fought the Second World War. They were far away fighting, which good for them, great. But they learned the lesson. Everything that the US fought was outside of their country, including Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was not a United States at that point. It was a territory. Okay, so you can even exclude that one. So they said, wait a minute, those guys are bombed to death, including atomic bombs. These guys in Europe killed themselves. We're gonna help them, and after that we come and we conquer and we dominate. That's it. We're gonna bring you a Marshall Plan. Everybody, yeah, we do the Marshall Plan. You remember what happened with the Marshall Plan? Do you know that the factories of Volkswagen was offered to Henry Ford? Was offered to Ford, and Ford said, we don't need that shit. We don't need Volkswagen. They were offered companies. That's how they invested. Yeah, we're going to help you. Well, they took over. Anyway, Red Rover took over. So when this guy, Zelensky, thinks that if China aligns with Russia, it's going to be World War III, what do you mean? Who do you think is going to bomb China? These guys are not even daring to attack Russia. They don't attack Russia. They fight Russia through you, not through you, to the Ukrainian nation. and you are helping them, obviously. So I think he's just, based on his statements regarding give us, I mean, he and Kadyrov were the only leaders of countries, how you want them to be called, who really said nuclear weapons should be used. Kadyrov said, and Zelensky. Zelensky said in an interview that the West should use tactical nuclear weapons preemptively against Russia. Did you hear Putin saying that? I never heard Putin, not even Biden, nobody said that, but this guy. And Kadyrov. Kadyrov said, we should, Kadyrov being the Chechen leader, we should, maybe Russia should use some tactical nuclear weapons, little ones in Ukraine. These guys are on the same wavelength. I don't have anything with Kadyrov. He has his own bullshit over there, but he doesn't have nuclear weapons. The other guy doesn't have nuclear weapons. Thank God, if you want me to. So let's see if this article has anything else valuable to say. So Ukrainian president, warned China. He warned China. Warned China in a newspaper interview on Monday against supporting Russia in its war on Ukraine, and said doing so would bring on a world war. Well, who's talking? Who's talking? Zelensky comments came as China said that the United States was in no position to make demands after the top U.S. diplomat warned his Chinese counterpart at the weekend against China providing weapons to Russia in its war in Ukraine. And I'm quoting, "For us, it is important that China does not support the Russian Federation in this war." Of course it is. I agree with you. Zelensky told German daily Die Welt. In fact, I'm quoting again, "I would like it to be on our side. At the moment, however, I don't think it's possible." Well, maybe they will see the light. And I'm quoting again, "But I do see an opportunity for China to make a pragmatic assessment of what is happening here," he added, "because if China allies itself with Russia, there will be a world war. And I think that China is aware of that." No, it's not going to be any world war because you are weak. You know where you're weak? Here. You don't have this. That's the problem. They can make all kind of, covers of People magazine or Playboy magazine with your face and all that. They can do how much they want. You still lack that. You don't have it. You're a comedian. That's what you are. And these guys are weak. They're weak. Look at the generation. Becomes more, how should I put it? Look at the, I'm going to use a study, sperm count. Lower. That means lack of testosterone in certain kind of areas. If you and that dropped too, sperm and testosterone in men, obviously, or now anyone I think can have it. So that shows a little bit of less manliness on this planet. Is it because of the food or because of the culture? I don't know, both, more than that. All I'm saying is these guys will not do anything militarily against China or Russia. These guys, I'm talking about the good people, about the good countries. No, they will use this, and when those guys will, if that would get to that point where the missile is going to come here, these guys are going to immediately come in front of a table and say, let's negotiate. I guarantee you that. You have on the other side of the table Lindsey Graham. You got Swalwell, whatever his name is, the representative from California. These are the people on the other side of that you're gonna discuss with. Are these guys? Mitch McConnell. It's useless to call Kamala or Biden. All these guys are weaklings. That's what they are. Do you think they're gonna stay in front of the Chinese or weak right here inside? When you're weak inside, you can be the biggest guy in the building. If you don't have the spirit, you're zero. And the smaller guy with the biggest spirit, he's gonna win. And I'm not talking about being small here, China or Russia, but I just give you an example. So yeah, it's not gonna be any third world war unless we got some crazies really jumping the gun. And look at Milley. Look at Mark Milley, military, the Army Chief of Staff. Look at Lloyd Austin. Lloyd Austin was with that freaking welder helmet when it was coronavirus. What does that tell you? I'm afraid to die. And he's a freaking general. Really? It doesn't mean that you have to die, but if it catches you, it catches you. I mean, imagine that being on the front. Oh, germs! Ooh, take me away. Really? Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.